Cannabis Show.
Oh, yeah.
I am always your hostess, Dr. Yolanda Henderson, and joined by my wonderful co-host,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. All right, y'all. So he have these alter egos, right? And so I have a new one myself. Y'all see me? The Hat Woman, Doc McPuffin. Get it? Whoop, whoop.
Shooting out blunts and nothing but positive energy.
That's right.
Are you feeling a little low on energy today? Not feeling as popular as you should?
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you a little bit of mine. Sunshine.
It is too funny. All right, Mr. Henderson, why don't you tell our listeners and our viewers for the first time, how can they watch the show and watch it later?
If you missed the show today, or if you want to follow the show for future shows, statusnetwork.net, www.statusnetwork.net. Look for Manifest TV, find the Holistic Cannabis Show.
That's right.
That's us.
That's it.
If you're on Instagram, manifesttv.status. Status Network LLC is the Facebook handle. Periscope and Twitter is status_network_. And if you was wise enough to get you a Roku, or a Fire Stick, you can type in your search bar Status Network, then look for Manifest TV, then look for the Holistic Cannabis Show.
That's right.
Today, we're going to be there dressed up all nice. All right. On YouTube, Manifest TV. And if you want to call in to the show with any opinions, any comments, it don't matter if they popular comments or unpopular comments, man. We'll listen. That's what the platform is for, to give you a chance to vent yourself up. 470-251-4647.
That's us. All right, so today is a very hot topic because we're talking about cannabis and sex. Yes, I said it right, cannabis and sex, and how it helps your body sexually. Also, we want to celebrate Pride Month, so big shouts out to everyone who's celebrating Pride. And then we want to shout out all of our very special birthdays. All right, so we do have a couple birthday shouts out to Stacy Harrison. She was one of our wonderful students, so we want to shout her out. And we have Mr. Jalen. We have his father, JT, our son, who had a birthday, who turned the big 16. So happy birthday, Jalen. And then we have an anniversary, so happy anniversary to our heavenly parents, already in heaven, but hey, it would have been about, 56 years?
Yeah.
About 56 years of marriage. So shouts out to heaven, happy anniversary. We love you guys. Thanks for watching over us. All right, and then we have some other news that we can use about the cannabis industry, so we want to get on that as well. So we have a quick video, and then we're going to invite our guest on. So Mr. Dean Sines is going to be our special guest from Peachtree Normal, former deputy director. Yes, and also our instructor for cultivation over at the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science will be speaking with us here shortly. And so you all get ready to kick back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I got a birthday shout out.
Okay, who you got a shout out?
Shout out to my nephew, Tyrell.
Tyrell, that's right.
Happy birthday, boy.
Tyrell.
Happy birthday, boy.
That's right.
Happy anniversary to my mom and dad. Today would have been their wedding anniversary today.
Today.
Hey, guess what? Even though they both deceased, they died like really close to each other. I think they had a date, and they just didn't tell nobody.
Yeah.
So they had a date into the afterlife, and they still together, even in the afterlife.
Even in the afterlife.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what's
Happy
up.
anniversary, peoples.
Those are those, right? All right, so y'all heard it here. We also want to shout out, today is Women's Veterans Day. So if you know a woman who's a veteran, happy Women's Veteran Day. Today officially marks that day that they started about 5 years ago for women, and so we want to shout that out. Also, Juneteenth is coming up next week, and Father's Day, so we want to get ready for that as well and give you guys a special deal that we have for Father's Day.
I know we can't have nothing. We always got to share Father's Day with something.
Oh. All right, so right after this short video, we'll be right back.
Okay, ready? This is Dean. I'm with the Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Sciences, and I'm here to talk to you today about the classes that we offer and the career opportunities available to you. Soon here in the state of Georgia, as soon as we get these 6 licenses issued, we'll be starting to grow medical cannabis here for the first time in the history of Georgia, and we would like to help prepare you to be ready to enter this growing industry, because once these licenses are issued, it's going to be like the Wild Wild West. It's going to be wide open. So now is the time to get your education out of the way and secure your spot. Some of the different topics: we talk the history of cannabis, we talk the therapeutic properties of cannabis, dosage and administrations, we talk about opening dispensaries, how to operate a dispensary, the difference between being a cannapharmacologist and a bud tender, and also the tax ramifications. We have our own in-house tax expert.
There you go, right there, boy. He was dropping it on him.
You did that really quick for us. We thank you for that, Dean. We appreciate everything that you have done for the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science, and we always welcome you back to the show in order to tell you thank you. And we know that this is a special time of the year, and we want to go ahead and have you to introduce yourself to our viewers and our audience, so they can know who you are and what you do now in the cannabis space.
My name is Dean Sines, and I'm currently an instructor with the Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science, as you stated, and loving every minute of it. We're going on our 3rd year now.
Yep.
We've got a lot of good students, and I've seen a lot of them that are off into the industry and everything, and that makes us very proud when we see our students doing well. And so many of them have commented that they wish the classes were longer and everything because they were having too good a time. They didn't want to leave. You know, come on back and see us and everything. Come back, share your stories, and share, be an inspiration to the next class. And as you said, this is Pride Month, and I got my start as a gay rights activist about 36 years ago.
6 years ago.
Yeah, I'm aging myself here. Back then, and that's kind of when I had my introduction into medical cannabis and all. We used to use Brown Betty's recipe and make brownies and cookies for a lot of our HIV patients, because it was the only thing that helped them with the wasting syndrome, and helped them, calm the nausea of the other medications that we're having to take. And it had so many therapeutic benefits, but we didn't have the research to back it. But we knew that it worked, so we just did it. And unfortunately, we still have to do it now, even though we passed our bill many years ago here in Georgia.
Yeah.
Many more.
They still have delays, and the licenses were issued, but now there's legal injunctions been put into place. Hopefully we'll know something soon. For the patients out there, just keep doing what you're doing. And we've got a really good, we call it the Green Railroad Network, that we can get medicine for the patients that need it. And it's unfortunate that we have to do that. That politics allows your zip code to determine your health care.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Just because I live in Georgia and I don't live in 2 states over, I can't access or I can't grow my own medicine and all like this. It's ridiculous. So we appreciate everybody that's out there. We've got a new group of activists up and coming, and I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of them over the years. I was founder of Peachtree Normal and was deputy director for 8 years. I've been doing cannabis advocacy for about 26 years now here in Georgia. And so, I've met people from all over the world and all around. And, we've got a lot of really great people and great minds out here that are fighting it. And it's not a matter of if prohibition is going to end, it's when are they going to finally end it.
Yeah.
An 83-year war against a plant and over $1 trillion spent, and the plant's still winning. Go figure.
Oh my gosh.
You can't beat Mother Nature.
You can't.
Right.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's powerful, Dean. We know that you've done a lot, and you still continue to do a lot. We had an unfortunate event that happened with the spouse, Mr. Kelly, and Lord rest in peace to Kelly. We love you. We miss you all the way from heaven. This is our opportunity. We're still fighting a good fight. This is a war. This is a war against a plant. And so all that.
Well, actually, the war on drugs is a war on people.
It's a war on people.
It is. It's a race war. It's exactly what it is. I mean, look at the racial disparity in the war on drugs, the number of arrests. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is. You know? I mean, just look at the numbers, and if it doesn't shock you, then you know you're too desensitized. You know, just crawl back in your hole and you know carry on with your existence because you're not living. Yeah.
And that's one thing we love about you, Dean. You're not afraid to tell it like it is.
No,
You've
I tell people my name's not Willy Wonka. I don't sugarcoat things for you. You know, I'll tell you straight up. You know, if you like it, fine. If you don't, you know, I mean, but one thing you can always say, you know what? He didn't lie to me. He told me like it was.
Yes.
You know, and that's an emphasis that I put on it for a lot of years. Is education is the key.
It is.
I mean, Dr. King. You know, we took a lot in the gay rights movement. From the civil rights movement because it was, I mean, they paralleled in so many ways, you know. And when I came into the cannabis movement, I told them, I said, look, this is the way we need to go. I said, you know, you've done this for so many years, it's been effective, but you hit a stopping point. I said, you know, education is the key.
Right.
I said, you know, I believe if people are properly educated and fully informed, they'll make the right decisions.
Right.
You know, they'll make the proper decisions.
Right.
And that was our mission when we started Peachtree Normal. We had a group called Georgia for Cannabis before that for 3 years. And then we were approached by Normal to start a chapter in Georgia, and we did, and they've been going for about 10 years now. And you know, we made a lot of progress here, but you know, the way we made it was through education.
Yes.
We went down there and we educated our lawmakers.
Yes.
You know, and turned a lot of them around. You know, and unfortunately, we had to, you know, pull out some of the lower stops and everything. You know, I mean, it wasn't until we started bringing, you know, they started bringing the kids down to the Capitol, and they could put a face to it. I said, well, it's easy to dismiss numbers on a page, but when you actually put a face to it, it makes it harder to deny.
I remember bringing. You remember when we pushed my little baby girl right on in there, right on into the Capitol? We'd never been to the Capitol before. We'd never been under the Gold Dome. It was a beautiful building, you know, but those lawmakers in there were just clueless to the fact, you know, until there was actually some education,
right?
You know, and seeing those faces and those babies and those strollers
during the process of you know, passing this medical bill and everything, they had hearings all over the state of Georgia, and we attended every one of them. Macon, Augusta, etc. And as a matter of fact, when we were in Augusta, one of the kids we had over there had a seizure during the middle of the hearing, and we had to transport her by ambulance. But they saw firsthand that while she was in the process of that seizure, her mother reached in there, pulled out a bottle of oil, gave that child some oil, and within 2 seconds the child stopped seizing. But we still had to, you know, for follow-up, take her to the hospital and everything to make sure that everything was all right. But they were amazed because they were standing right there and they saw it happen. And they saw how this worked and how fast it worked. And that was a big tipping point there.
That was a big thing.
And thankfully, the little girl, for privacy matters, I won't mention her name or her parents' name or anything, but God bless them, they're tried and true advocates. She's still with us today. And if it wasn't for cannabis, she wouldn't be here today. And I think she would be turning about 14 now. And the doctor said she would never live past 5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hear that?
That's God's miracle right there.
This is real. This is like, these are the real stories we have to talk about, because if we don't, then people will think, okay, this is something we're doing to get high. This is a hippie thing.
You know, it's not about getting high all the time. With most people, it's about getting well or getting balanced.
Exactly.
You know,
and so there's a couple companies that started the movement for here in Georgia, the Haley's Hope Act, which was about the baby girl Haley, who had the seizures 100 a day, and the cannabis oil was created after her from some guys, and we actually did a video on her a while back, maybe about a year or so ago. Can you, since you're here already, can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about Haley?
Well, I met Haley's parents, you know, through the activism and everything. They come down there and they're like, you know, yes, you know, we know this medicine works and everything, you know. So we took them and we introduced them to Alan Peake, and he was our representative at that time. And Alan did a lot. He, you know, he helped us. It took us a while. It took us 3 years to get the bill out of committee and to a full House vote. But when we did, we got it.
That's it.
initial bill was HB 884, but eventually the one that passed was the Haley's Hope Act, was HB 1. That was the very first bill filed before the session even started that year. Alan was the first one down there. He said, "This is our top priority this year," and we got it that year.
Yeah.
But in 5 years, still no safe access to the medicine. But updates on Haley. Haley is still doing good, you know. And big shout out to the Stanley brothers in Colorado. They're the ones that developed the Charlotte's Web strain, and that really was a major tipping point on the medical aspect, because when they did this, they took and by selective breeding, they actually bred out the THC and bred in more CBD and CBN, and CBG levels are very high in these plants.
Right.
And this is what the main thing they need for the seizures. It's the entourage effect. It all works together.
Yes.
But when they started doing this, it really started getting national attention, and then Time and Newsweek, and we've actually made the centerfold of Newsweek one year with one of our rallies down in the Gold Dome and everything. We had L.V. Muskie, one of the 2 surviving cannabis patients that gets cannabis from the U.S. government every month.
Y'all didn't know that happened, did you?
And originally there were 8 patients in the study, and over the years we've lost them, and there are two left, but they receive a 10 every month with 300 pre-rolled joints in it, grown at the University of Mississippi, supplied by the U.S. government.
Ole Miss. All right, so y'all heard it. They are supplying, they're growing it. They were growing it for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is, are they growing it and allowing everyone the opportunity to get this medication?
Not at Ole Miss. Not at Ole Miss. You don't get none of that good shit.
Ole Miss was the only place legally you could grow in the United States. So if you wanted to research, that was the only place.
That's where you went to, Ole Miss.
They only grew a certain amount, so there was not available for research. But that has changed now, and they're opening it up. And colleges across the country, UGA here in Georgia, and Fort Valley State.
Fort Valley.
Yeah, they were granted a license when this bill was passed. They were granted a license, and UGA had seeds in the ground the next day. They're allowed to grow medical cannabis and hemp for research and study purposes, and so and any other schools can apply for a license too. Yeah. These 2 were chosen because both have a huge agricultural program, which is very prominent in Georgia, and also both have excellent medical schools.
Awesome.
Shout out to them for all that they do. I grew up in the Middle Georgia area down there, and so I'm very familiar with Fort Valley State College, and I know a lot of people that have went there, and I know a lot of the instructors down there. Shout out to all of them. I know I hadn't seen you in a lot of years, but keep doing the great work that y'all are doing. Y'all turn out some great students down there. Really proud of you.
Awesome. Yes, we've had some that come out and came over to the school for continuing education. So, Mr. Henderson, you have questions for Dean. Go ahead, interview Dean.
Dean.
It's our buddy.
What's the most dankiest, skunkiest cannabis you ever encountered?
Oh.
You knew he was gonna have something else like this.
That's hard to say, because there's so many great ones out there and everything. One of the best ones that I ever found was when back in 2014, the first legal cannabis cup in the U.S. in Denver. I went out there, and there was a strain called Golden Goat. Oh. And it rocked my world. I fell in love with it, and I was blessed to get some about a month ago. First time I'd had it since the Cannabis Cup, and it was just as good as I remembered it. Yeah, but it's one of those things that
another trip to Vegas.
It's kind of like an urban legend, because as far as I know, there's only like 2 or 3 growers in Colorado that even have this, and somehow or another they've managed not to let it get out to the other states. Oh. So, but hopefully eventually it will. And I've seen some strains that come very, very close to it. There's a lot of them out there. But understand, if you're looking for the ultimate buzz, be like a wine connoisseur.
Okay.
You know, wines,
Right,
you know, with
right.
wines, they look for the palate, they look for the profile, you know, the terpene profile.
Right.
Same thing with cannabis.
Yeah,
If you're looking for
yeah.
a particular, if you need help with a particular ailment, you not only need to look at the THC ratio, look at the CBD ratio,
Yeah.
all the cannabidiols, also look at your terpene profile.
The terpenes, those are important.
That can have a big thing to do with it. So, you know, I tell people, you know, you've got to educate yourself and everything. You know, education is the key to it. You know, we can help you, you know, we can recommend strains for you that won't turn you into a couch zombie.
Right.
You know, you'll still be able to function, but it'll give you the medical relief that you need.
That's it.
Right,
And that's
right,
what we teach.
right.
That's what we teach over at the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science, and we do have a great time, guys. I mean, Dean and me and this man right here, y'all get this is like the entourage. This is the real dream team. Okay, so enroll, come to the classes. You can call us 404-631-6360, 404-631-6360. We are enrolling for Father's Day, a 50% off deal. So that's the deal of the century right there, because we usually don't like taking off, you know, from the payments, but this is awesome for you to learn. If you have a medical condition, if you need any type of, you know, pain relief for certain ailments, we're going to teach you that. Dean's going to teach you the history of cannabis here in Georgia. He's going to tell you all about. Tell him what you teach us.
Well, we start out, we teach you the history of cannabis itself, you know, from the origins and everything. And scientists have actually now, they say that they have geologically pinpoint where the original cannabis strain started from.
Okay.
And it was where we've thought for years and everything, and it's one of the most popular strains, and it's been hybridized and crossed with so many different varieties, but it's the Kush variety.
From the
Hindu Kush,
mountains,
you know, from the Hindu mountains,
Okay.
you know, around the Tibetan area, is, you know, they've traced it back over 20,000 years.
Ooh, so y'all know it's been around for a long time. It's good for medicine. That's the part I teach. I'm going to teach you all about the medical parts, what you're going to get in your body, what terpenes go with what ailments, what cannabinoids, how they relate to natural medicine, because natural medicine is what's going on. It's the key here. It grows in the ground. It's natural. And if it helps with any ailments, it's medicine. And we do believe that. And the government knows that. And we don't understand still why it's a schedule.
Well, if the government didn't know that, why would they hold the patent?
Why would they hold patents? So y'all go to the Library of Congress and y'all will be able to find patents. That's a hint. All right, Mr. Henderson, go ahead and tell them what you do over at the Atlanta, Georgia Academy of Cannabis Science.
I teach the finance courses.
That's right.
I teach crowdfunding. I teach how to get the money.
That's right.
I teach the business aspect of the cannabis industry.
That's right.
So if anybody is looking for anything related to funding or financing your cannabis business, I start there. We also talk about tax strategies. We talk about tax code. We talk about the RICO. Yeah, y'all been hearing a whole lot about RICO lately, ain't it?
A lot of people didn't even know what RICO Act meant.
The RICO Act is cold-blooded on top of 2 stacks of cold-blooded.
Yeah.
All right? Now, for a long time, RICO was not in the news. Guess what? Especially here in Atlanta, the RICO Act is going to be a regular, reoccurring charge. All right? We talk about that. We talk about how to finance your cannabis business. You want to get into the cannabis space, you need things like equipment, right? We explore certain options on how to help you acquire that equipment. I mean, it's deep. It gets deep down the rabbit hole.
It's deep. Y'all have fun too. Did I mention that?
Oh, yeah.
We always.
Sunshine!
All right, so Dean, this is our topic about Pride Month. So tell us about Pride Month. I mean, what is the origins of Pride?
The origins of Pride started in Stonewall in 1969.
Okay.
There were a group of gay, gays that hung out at a ball called Stonewall, and they just one night they just got tired of the police harassment. The police were constantly coming in there, arresting people, dragging them out, beating them. You know, I mean,
Because they was gay.
Yeah, just because they were gay. You know, and also there was, I mean, believe it or not, there were a lot of black drag queens and stuff at that bar too. And they were some of the ones that they said, you know what, we can't deal with this no more. So when the police came in that night to raid them, which was like probably the 10th time in 2 months that they'd come in there and done this, they come in there, bust up everything, you know, and just, but they kept rebuilding. They said, you know what, we're tired of this. They stood up to them. And that's what they call the Stonewall riots. And that was considered the birth of the gay liberation movement. You know, we just celebrated, this year is 53 years this month.
I thought that pride was an acronym or something. It stood for
No,
something.
I mean, it just means, you know, be proud of who you are. You know, pride in yourself.
Very good.
Nobody should have to hide who they are. It, you know, it doesn't define me who I love, you know.
Right,
I mean, you know,
right.
Judge me as the person that I am, you know. I mean, as by what I do, not by, you know, nobody should be judged by the color of their skin, the color of their hair, the color of their eyes, you know, who they love or anything else. You know, love is love. You know, me and my partner Kelly, as you mentioned and everything, you know, we were together 25 years.
It's a long time.
You know,
That's a long time.
That's more time spent together more than a lot of heterosexual couples I know.
I'm going to embarrass my sister by saying this, but my sister has been married 4 times, and me and Kelly were together longer than all 4 of her marriages put together.
Uh-oh.
Dang, sis. Dang. Dang, sis.
But
I understand now.
Pride is for everybody. I mean, here in Atlanta, we do our Pride celebration in October because of the heat factor and everything, you know, especially
I
for
know,
patients
right?
and stuff. I mean, you know, when it was 108 degrees out there, I mean, 3 years ago, our Pride Parade lasted 3.5 hours.
Oh, Lord.
There were over 7,000 participants in the parade, and almost 250,000 people lined the streets along the route from Piedmont Park all the way over to Peachtree Center Station to watch the parade.
Yes.
You know, I mean, we have one of the largest Pride celebrations in the world. We beat out San Francisco and New York and, you know, all of them.
Wow.
So, I mean, but pride is for everybody. It's back, you know, be proud of who you are. No matter what your background is, who you are, what you do in life. You know, do it with pride. Be proud of who you are. Don't let anybody ever belittle you.
Right.
Because, you know, they think less of you because, you know, maybe because of your religion. You know, I mean, we have religious persecution too. Yeah. Pride, we don't care. You know, we coexist. Love everybody. Love is love.
Right.
You know, and that's all there is to it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we had more time to get into details because in the church arena, you know, we talk about, you know, loving everybody. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're gay. We don't know what people do behind closed doors. That don't mean we treat them any certain type of way. You know, and that's all that matters is that we love people for who they are because guess what? I have something that I deal with. He has something that he deal with. There's nobody on this face of this earth that's perfect. We all have come short of the glory of God or whatever the shortcoming may be of the Bible or what it talks about. And then you're an ordained minister. So we all have our own love and relationship with the Lord.
Right.
And
you know, and in the Bible it talks about the tree of life.
Right.
Well, we had a theological discussion in a group that's called Clergy for a Sensible Drug Policy.
Okay.
We did a like a roundtable discussion one time, and we had every major religion in the world represented there, from Buddhism, you know, ordained Catholics, ordained Judaism. Everything was covered. And one thing that they could all agree on, I think, cannabis very well could be the tree of life that is mentioned in the Bible.
Okay.
Because it's mentioned 22 times in the Bible.
Wow.
And it, but people look for it. They say, "Well, I don't see cannabis or marijuana in the Bible." No, you have to look for the Hebrew name.
The Hebrew name. It's a different name, and we did have an episode on that.
Right.
So yeah,
you know, but you know, because it's the only plant in the biological book that can provide everything: food, shelter, medicine, clothing, you name it. Can all be done with cannabis and hemp. And there's not another plant on this planet that can do all the things that it can do. So therefore, you know, it could very well be, you know.
A great plant. And we don't worship the plant. So we want to get that straight.
No, we don't worship the plant.
We don't worship
I mean, this is, you know, God
I
said,
worship
you know,
the person that made the plant.
Every
right.
plant and
Thank
every
you.
herb-bearing seed, and they are good for you. You know, we're using one of God's gifts.
That's,
you know,
that's what he left for us.
Right, you know, I mean, he told us, I'll provide you with everything that you need.
That's it.
All you have to do is go and use it. You know, but we let technology and other stuff distract us.
Government.
And,
Yes.
greed,
Greed.
Is what it all boils down to.
That's
If
right.
you want to get to the bottom of anything, plain and simple, one rule, follow the money.
Money. That's what Mr. Henderson talks about. All right, so y'all heard it. Y'all hear more. Enroll in the class. Class starts on the 25th. Postponed it all the way to the 25th, so give you some time to get your cho-chos together. And we have a quick video. We're going to go ahead and take this quick break, and we'll be back with more on sex and, cannabis? Now tell us, Mr. Dean, what do you think about sex and cannabis? Do you think it helps or not?
Yeah, it can. A lot, like again said, it depends on the strains that you're using and everything.
That's right.
We have certain strains we know that tend to, interact with the libido a little bit better and everything, But it's very pleasurable. It's much more pleasurable than having sex with somebody that's drunk and sloppy and passed out. And
I know, right?
Who wants that?
Yeah. No.
I don't know if somebody into that puking part
Well,
of it.
yeah, I don't think that, no matter
There's
what
somebody
you're
that
into,
watch
somebody
our
gets
show
that.
right now, a super freak, and they into that gang until you peak.
Yeah.
Somebody watching our show right now is into that
Kids
suck it until you gag puke. Somebody like that.
We fixing to, after this quick video, we'll be right back.
Well. Bow chicka bow bow.
Okay.
The Holistic Cannabis Show is lit today.
Alright, so y'all heard it. We have a couple of video pictures of some of the things that are going on right now, and so we're going to show those real quick. All right, so we are hosting a co-ed football team. So starting at ages 4 to 17. If your student or athlete is interested, please give us a call. All right, today was the Women's Veterans Day. So House of Representatives did honor and appreciate the military service of the women. So shouts out to all the women veterans. All right, Georgia Worksource Georgia is allowing us to help them with training, and so we're now hiring ages 16 to 24-year-olds to be able to train and get paid hourly for their training. So come on over, enroll in some of the classes that we offer, everything from transportation to agriculture. You can get even financial services. So if you're interested in learning, please contact us 1-888-959-2093. Natural to Life, get your tickets, become a member, become a vendor, become a speaker of this great event. It is in August. It's a back to school fashion, talent, and hair show. All right. Bye Belly, we also are offering that special package with the cryoskin. That is cool sculpting. So if you don't know what cool sculpting is freezing the fat off. So no more surgeries, no more of that, may not wake up due to those, people are getting sick and dying from those BBLs. Well, I'll do them naturally. So come on out, 820 Highway 138 in Riverdale, Georgia, and get yours done. All right, we got a package, you get the juice with it. All right, so these are the different trainings that we're offering for now: hospitality, the cooks, the agriculture, legal, finance, customer service, medical, and real estate. And we wanted to add finance, so that is another one, ages 16 to 24, $12 an hour. All right, so orgasm experience of tested strains. These are the strains, Mr. Henderson. You want to go ahead and talk about those real quick?
Dose-a-Dose at the top of the list is top star. All right, the main terpene in Dose-a-Dose is limonene. I tried that. Dutch Treat.
All right.
Terraphyllene. 4 stars. I haven't tried that one, I don't think. Granddaddy Perp. That's one in the hood right there. Myrcene. 2 stars. And GSC or Girl Scout cookies. Catalophenine. Yeah, 2 stars right there. Now here's the thing. Dose-a-Dose, the duration of the orgasm in seconds is pretty close to a minute, 47 seconds.
Yeah.
Dutch Treat, though, look at that one. Your orgasm went for a whole 60 seconds. Granddaddy Perp, 40 seconds. Girl Scout cookies, 38 seconds. the time that it takes to have an orgasm from this strain. You start smoking that do and y'all just kissing and everything. In about 8 minutes, all this situation gonna change. Dutch treat, check this out. In about 4 minutes and 10 seconds, that situation gonna change. But boy, if you put her on that granddaddy perp, it's Father's Day. Put your baby daddy on that granddaddy perp right there. In 10 minutes, that situation gonna be way different. He might be your baby daddy again. Girl Scout cookies in 8 minutes, it's going down.
Yeah.
Maybe at the spot is going down.
All right, shouts out again to Miss Stacy Harrison on her birthday today. Love you, Stacy. These are students that graduated from the Atlanta Academy of Cannabis Science. We love you guys. Have a great day. All right, well, that concludes our topics of discussion for today. We want to tell you thank you for watching the show and hope you tune in next week, same time and same place.
Just before you poke up, toke up.